What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Happy Friday. We've made it. This episode almost did not get made. There's been all kinds of construction on the street. They're doing some water work. Trucks are backing up, making all kinds of beep, beep, beep. It's been a lot. The mic stand has been ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with it. I need to hold up a sign a la Chris Jericho and say conspiracy victim. Nevertheless, here it is. It's time to talk about the Star Wars HasLab. We've already seen it. It got leaked. Hence the t-shirt. I already knew what it was about, but let's take a look at this thing because despite knowing is half the battle, but seeing it in reality was really cool. It's the Star Wars Cantina Mos Eisley centerpiece, and it's really well done. I think the Star Wars team deserves a bow. They really put it all out there, and they really deserve a lot of credit for making this big showcase centerpiece so well done. And lots of moving parts to this. I think this is one you definitely want to keep the little kids away from because there's so much stuff for them to lose and misplace, all that good stuff. A slew of cups, which is necessary at any bar. Got tables. I really wanted to see a few more images of everyone seated at these stools, these lower ones, the high chairs, just getting a little bit more cozy in the booth. Matt, aka Shooting the Galaxy, did take some photos. They weren't up on the pulse, which I thought was kind of unusual. I thought that'd have been a really nice way to sell this thing even further. I don't think they're going to need the help because it's already rolling. It only needs 8,000 backers, and the price point is, it's not cheap. It's not super expensive. I think from the work they put into this, you can see that, there is definitely some effort and intention behind everything, even something as simple as the gas inhaler section here. And Wooher got his chest hair going, and Wooher has got your droids all in check, so don't break your neck. Woo-ha! Wooher. I love the detail on this paintwork. It's so cool because we got the distress painting where does not care about keeping things up to code, and Mos Eisley, the red is long since faded, ditto for the blue, and the work here really makes it seem like it is just worn down. Everybody's seen a storefront where the paint, the signage is a little bit faded. That's throughout this cantina, and just this shot here is just giving you so much character, so much personality. What's here in this cantina? Your droids, we don't serve their kind here. I don't serve their kind here. Wooher would probably get canceled in 2024, but in 1977, you can go nuts. So much details, so many detailed elements to this thing where it's probably one of these deals where the pictures aren't doing it enough justice. I mean, we got this entryway here, and of course, you're not going to have this view, but setting it up, you can put so many people in it. I kind of wish they'd added a floor, just a mock floor piece. It could just have been cardboard. This would have been a great time for a cardboard insert where we get a floor, because I mean this black isn't quite how it looked in Mos Eisley. I would have been fine with that. Maybe throw some dirt on there, whatever. I think that would have been really cool. Take it to another level. Mattel has done this with some of their crowdfunding efforts where they use the packaging for background elements. Since this is one giant background element, maybe adding a floor piece here would have been really cool. But you can just get this shot of like, hey, we're walking in here. And we got the sisters. This is so cool to add them. Perfect choice to put them in for this thing. And this isn't a deal where it's like, why are they here? We got the Tonica sisters. They're hanging out with Wooher. Excuse me. And I don't know why, but the chest hair is just so cool. It's sculpted on this dude. That's really cool. And they've got their cool, serene looks. It's Bria. It's Siani. I don't feel like that's her name. Senna. There we go. And they're chilling, and they bring so much character because they're different heights too. And he's wider, so more personality for the bar. I really wish they had included those shots with everyone in there flooding the bar scene. I wanted to see a few more shots of people actually seated in these booths just to get a sense of how everybody would cram in there. The chairs look cool. We got a couple shots of people sitting down. There we go. I'll get the proper sense of that down eventually. But you can see the detail here this with this beast, whatever it is. Kind of looks like a lizard man. But check this out. We've got cracks, and if you've got a house for a long time, you're familiar with cracks. And it's got that real stone-like texture where some of it's starting to fade and wither away, and just over time it's wearing down. And we got this ornate detailing, like this saw blade slash fan, whatever it is. Even the work done on the tables is really good. You probably aren't seeing all that texture, but it looks great. A nice variety of cups too. And they were showing that these tables have enough space that you can put like a tea light, probably that size, underneath, which will in turn light up your cups so you can get that real Moss Eisley Cantina look going. Here's your entrance. That looks really cool. Again, so much great detail with the cracks. Like, it's not a chump looking plastic piece. It looks like it's genuine stone slash clay, whatever material they use. Come on in, gentlemen. That's really well done too. Got the Tonica sisters one more time, and they look really cool. I mean, they're just sitting there at the bar. They're not doing much else in the movie, but it's just really cool to further populate this cantina scene. And then we got some shots of like the booth areas. So it's not a lot of space for them to maneuver around, but you can see we got some lights here. And they were mentioning you can add your own LED lights. Now, for the price point, I think this would have been a nice opportunity to throw in some lights, but I guess they learned their lesson here. But I mean, this is really well done. I think that if you are really into vintage collection stuff, you can see the tears in the seats too. That's a nice touch because this thing has been around for a long time, and Woodward does not care about maintaining things. And everybody who comes to this spot, even Norm, they're all set. They know what's going down here. Greedo is one of the pack-ins, and there were so many photos, so it's just randomly out of order. But yeah, I like Greedo. I think they did a really nice job with his figure. I kind of feel like a 6-inch version of him would look better, just kind of based off this model. This figure looks really well done, and so much great detailing, so much great character. We have a shot in the photo in the YouTube video where they show him aiming. I thought it was a little odd that they didn't have a picture of him and Han, like stopping Han and then gesturing him over to the seat. But I guess they didn't want to show everything. I guess they wanted to keep the visible photos to these figures are not included. They didn't want to have that whole situation because there are some figures included with it, and it would just get really weird trying to distinguish between who was who and what is and what isn't included. But we got the robot droid detector here going into the place. I mean, this is cool. I really wish that would light up too. And also, again, it'd been cool seeing R2 and C3PO behind Obi-Wan and Luke, and getting that you're droids. We don't serve their kind here. Yeah, I mean, that's really well done, and just these little nooks and things that people who might come into your figure space and go, "What is all this?" But the ones that know are gonna be like, "That is so cool." They threw this piece in too, so really nicely done. Another denizen hanging out at the cantina. And then some different drinks for everybody to get into. I do appreciate showing one character making use of these seats. It looks really cool. And again, they just put so much effort and work into this thing. I'm super impressed. And we've got the half-filled liquids dispensers. So this is really neat too. So there's a lot to drink here at the cantina. And I'm just really impressed with this thing. I really think that they put a lot of good work into it and not just kind of these guys are suckers. They'll buy anything we put out. And maybe to some extent that's true. Star Wars fans like me are like, oh, that's close enough to being really great. I'll buy it. Price be dang. But this one is really well done. And the only thing I don't kind of love is the fact that these are all movable. And that's cool on one end, but they're so movable that I wonder if you're going to need a lot of space for this. So if you have a table and if you bump against the table or someone bumps up against the table, how secure will these elements be? Are they just going to fall over, or will they have enough weight that, you know, they won't topple over and cause a big, massive issue if somebody accidentally juts up against it? But here's like a wide shot of what you can expect and what you can do with it. So that's really cool. And here's a more detailed shot at the bar and just so much stuff. Now, I keep looking at these IG-88 helmets. Maybe Wooher got a deal after the Clone Wars and just used these helmets as pieces for his drinks. Maybe that's like the backstory. He used to be a bounty hunter and grabbed all these when the Clone Wars ended. And these are collection edition pieces that he uses for his drink dispensaries. So there you go. Just another shot of the detail flooding this thing. And there's a little light. So Matt was able to show us how you could sneak in some light in here, capture that moody, seedy look of the cantina. That's really cool. I am so looking forward to seeing what people who do get this have it set up, what kind of lighting scheme they use, and what parts they will and will not incorporate, because all this is modular. So people will take and add as needed for their setup. So I think it's gonna be really fun next fall, seeing what everybody does with their setup. This is more of what I was talking about with that modular setup. So you can take this part, you can take this. I think this might be a little bit harder with that, but you can see how easy it's laid out. Now I am still curious about where we're positioning Obi-Wan, Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker with this setup, because I don't see that main excuse me, table for them to sit around. And I didn't think they were in like a secluded booth like this, but whatever. I think this looks really well done. And I think you can see how some more pieces connect with these nubs there. So lots of cool stuff going on here. And here's another booth. This seems to be more of where Han and Greedo were situated. And he's throwing in a little dust there. Got the little dry ice thing rocking, the vapor, the steam, whatever professional photographers are using these days, really helps create that moody environment. So that is very cool. And I mean, there's just so much great stuff with this thing. Here's the exterior. I really wish they had it so you could open it up. I didn't see that from their showcase and everything, where you could just position C3PO and R2D2 here and keep them out of pocket. And maybe you have some stormtroopers coming on the outside here as well. So one thing that's really cool is there's at least this exterior section where you can do some more stuff out here as well. So if you've got a big table, you can throw some dirt on here, some sand even though Anakin hates this stuff, because it really does get everywhere. And then you can just have them hanging out here, and then the droids in there, and you can have everybody else chilling going into the cantina. So I love that. Here is the setup kind of in full. So you can get a sense. Now the steps do have that distress, so you can do that. And from their display, this looks huge. So it's going to take up a lot of shelf space. And you're really going to have this on a table, maybe a lower one, so you can get around and everybody can take this look at it as opposed to the direct eye level setup. So that's another thing that I'm really interested to see what collectors do in setting this up, like how they're going to position it so you can see everything. But of course, if you have this view, you're not going to see so far into the bar in that set. And that's more of what you want to show off when you have this on display. So I'm really interested. I'm very curious to see what people do with it. And here is another shot. So this is like more of the long way view. So if you had this like on a long table, this is kind of the view you would get. So you wouldn't be able to see the exterior anymore, but you could have Luke and Obi-Wan coming here. Maybe you could put the droids right there and them on the steps. And then Wooher going, nope, not in my shop, player. I have the right to refuse service to anyone, including your droids. So got that. And like I said, this is so well done. And this is another cool part to it. They've added a sticker set so you can decorate it however you want, which means nobody's canteen will look exactly the same. And there's all kinds of cool nods. We got our Phantom Menace shout outs, join the Empire, and we're tracking you down. So really cool. And I love this. We got the not the Max Rebo band. We got the other band coming here. And it's just so well done. And you can just see all the love they put into this thing. There's the Max Rebo band. Got them here. And our girl from Mandalorian, that's cool. So she's here too. Lots of cool Easter eggs and another Mandalorian Easter egg, gladiator battle, Gamorrean guards. And check this out, another familiar face from Clone Wars, from Rebels, and then Wanted, but not for much longer because they're about to get taken out. No droids, please. Park your bantha outside. That's cool. No Jawas either. We don't want their kind hanging out in this spot either. So this is really cool, and I think this is something you can put on your tables, so you can have your gambling that might be frowned upon by the Empire, but you can have your fun here in the Cantina. So we got the sisters here as well. They're represented. It's really fun. We got our Jabba set up as well, and our spray paint vandalize Rebel Alliance setup. So that's pretty fun. And I really think they did an awesome job with everything with this bad boy. Now, let me back out so I can show you the particulars, the price, and all that great stuff with it. So let's go all the way back to the main window. There we go. It was a lot. And I think on here they had like 78 photos. So it was a ton to break down and go through. But here you go. Here's everything. And again, that's the overhead shot. Now, all of what I've shown was the basic package. So you still get a ton for it. And I didn't think it was too terrible in terms of the deluxe with the add-on. 400 for that base, though. That is major. But who cares to the Star Wars Vintage Collection fans? Because already it's at 2,427 backers. They only need 8,000. One thing I thought was really interesting here was typically the HasLabs they go 45 days. This one is 31. So that's interesting. And I thought that was a really curious decision. I guess that's because of the delay. Is like I said, I think that was 2 weeks when they were supposed to debut it. And if that was the case, that would have provided us with those actually right to the if this was 2 Fridays ago, that would have been 45 days. So losing out on that, I'm curious if that's going to impact how far it gets funded. I mean, it's Star Wars. They've not had any problems getting anything funded outside of the Rancor, outside of Reva's lightsaber. I don't doubt that they're going to hit this. The way that the Rebels and the Ghost tiers got funded, I don't think it's going to be a problem getting those extra tier figures as well. The deluxe set is another $100. I don't know if I feel like that extra 100 is worth that extra setup is worth 100 extra dollars. But again, I'm not going to sit up here and go, it's not worth it. I'm not buying it, not because I think it's a bad deal, a bad value. I just want some more stuff for the Black Series. I can't collect both because they're a serious, I mean, you got to make some hard choices. If you go all in with the vintage collection, I don't see how you could collect Black Series because it's just, you could go so deep in with the vintage collection. Whereas the Black Series, you can kind of, pace yourself because they certainly do. But anyway, so here's a breakdown on everything with this bad boy. And again, you're not going to get charged until July 9th. So you've got a little time to get it. Now that's probably a couple paychecks. Now, if you've got like one paycheck for your disposable figure income, that's kind of tough. I do think that maybe you would have benefited having a little bit more time than 31 days for such a high priced item. But, hopefully everybody will make it work. This is one of those things where I really wish that they were able to do a payment plan of some sort, because asking for $500 for somebody who wants the full thing in a month, that's kind of a big ask. But I don't, like I said, I don't think the price is terrible. I just think this short window to pay for it is. I mean, 45 days gives you another paycheck in there. And I said July 9th, but that's when they charge you. The final time you can order is 11:59 Eastern time, July 8th. So there you go. And here's just all the stuff that comes with it. You get your Wooher, your Bria, your Cine, Tonica Sisters set, and they all have at least 3 accessories. Your deluxe pack includes everything, including the extra wall, boost, and more furniture. Like I said, I feel like maybe people's space won't be as accessible to grab that. And I noticed when I checked this earlier, so you see there's 2,427 backers. Let's see how much that's changed since I started. Quite a few. But it doesn't tell you where they are with the backing for which one. Now, I guess clearly, if you're getting the deluxe, you're getting the Cantina base setup as well. But I'm really curious how many of those backers are backing the deluxe set too. And I guess it doesn't really behoove them at all to say who is backing the deluxe, who's getting the base, because either way, they're getting this funded. That's what they really want. I mean, this is what they really want, at least that 8,000 target. So I'm sure they'll get that maybe as soon as this time next week or Monday, at the rate they're going. But lots of cool stuff with it. And there's the extra parts for the deluxe, so you can see it's adding this much more to it. So that's kind of cool, but whew, that does take up a lot of space. So just a quick scroll through of all these 79 photos and just giving you a sense of what's here. Lots of cool things, and I think they really nailed it, knocked it out of the park, whichever way you want to go with it. They really did some cool stuff. I do think it would have been cool to see the other characters in here, and just that little disclaimer, like we have here, paint model shown product may vary for final production, not the final product. Just say these figures are not included. That would have been really easy to do, I think. But you can check out the accessories. Wooher's got a rifle or a shotgun, whichever way you want to go with that. And they all got they're all carded too, which is fitting for a bar. So there you go. He's there. The Tonica sisters have separate cards. So, and she's got a different drink. So that's kind of fun. So they're mixing it up. And here is the full look with the deluxe setup. Yes. All right. I think that's the case. Here's the deluxe set. All the additional parts to a deluxe model shown. So there you go. Make sure that's nice and simple. Yeah, here's with the deluxe there. So like I said, it's not so much more that I feel like it's worth paying that extra $100, because you kind of get the gist of it without it. But here you go. The shot looks really great. Cool stuff on that from Matt. Here's how the tiers work. 11,000. So that's 3 more than the base. Takes you up to 11,000. You get this really cool Greedo. He also comes with a cup. That's fun. Here's how he looks on card. 14,000 for the next one. That's where you get Nabrin leads. And he's really well done. I think they did some really cool work with him. He's got 4 arms, a little bit better articulation than a Spider-Man figure we've seen lately. But I mean, look at the sculpting detail. That's really nice. And the head sculpt, lots of personality. There was a shot in the live stream with him having one of the guns behind his back, or one of the arms and guns behind his back. That was fun too. So there you go. And he's certainly one of the characters that you remember from the Cantina scene, right from the opening. So there you go with him. And then 17,000 gets you Arrow Skulls. And here you go with him. Got a cup too, blue milk. He's sitting down so you can see how he looks. Great articulation. Nice little dirty wash on his shirt. So very cool. And I think maybe his eyes could be a little bit redder, but there you go. Everybody's got guns, even though no blasters. So July 8th is when it's up. What do you guys think? Are you excited about this? Now, for me, I was really curious because, you know, I've mentioned I don't think the price is terrible, but I do think, how do they kind of make sense of this? Because right now, also on Hasbro Pulse, you can get Jabba's Throne Room as part of the Power Days sale. That knocks out $80, especially if you're a Premium Plus member. It's a little bit cheap, a little bit more if you aren't, which means you're going to get 15% as opposed to 35%. I feel like I said that wrong. Anyway, $80 off if you are a Premium Pulse member. It's $229. You can still add this to your cart. I think the timing, one of my buddies mentioned, is a little bit weird because if you were committed to this, it's not that far off in terms of the price point from the Cantina itself. And, you know, $80 off is great, but you're still paying over $100 for it. So that was kind of an interesting thing as well. But the thing that's kind of interesting to me with this is you got all this for $229, and I almost feel like there's a little bit more detail in terms of what you're getting with it. But of course, these things are smaller, not booths and cups. There's a lot of stuff in here. And this didn't sell at the original price. It didn't sell out for 229. So I'm curious if, excuse me, that Cantina, that's 399, 499, how the sales are going to go, come to last, like say day 15, how it's looking. Is it still going strong, or will people go, well, this expensive, this premium thing hasn't even sold out and you're offering it at a discount rate? Now I was looking, trying to find this before and going back to some of my older videos. This this Starship Slave One, I don't remember what they call it now, but Spitfire, I think that's what they call it. This was originally on part of those sales during the Pulse Power days or whatever. So this was on sale, and I think the original price for it was like 199. I don't remember what it is. They've of course taken it off, but that was not cheap either. So, yeah, here you go. That's what that looked like. I don't doubt, because we've seen this with their other HasLabs, the Ghost. It sold through, no problem. Blew through all the tiers so fast. We were like, y'all can add Sabine in. Y'all get enough backers. Make it easy for everybody. So I think it'll sell. I'm not really worried about that. But it does make me wonder, they could do all this for the vintage collection. How hard would it be to just implement something like a smaller diorama base? Not what we got from the very small Cantina setup, where it's just a bar. And it was so small, they were like, you got to buy two of these $100 pieces to get some semblance of a full bar. Definitely not of the quality of this HasLab. And that was $200. So it was like, what are you guys doing? Anyway, I think there's still a market for Black Series, HasLabs, play sets, just stuff to add to our collection. Because I do admit being a little bit jealous seeing what the vintage collection collectors are still able to get, whereas Black Series fan or exclusive collector like me is missing out on some of this cool stuff. Kind of makes me go, did I make the right call? Should I go on with vintage collection and just said all these 6-inch figures look great, but I can get vehicles, I can get play sets every week coming from the vintage collection as opposed to the Black Series. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of this. Are you as amazed and wowed as I am? Because I think it's really impressive. If I were a vintage collector, I'd be signing up for this thing right now. Let me know what y'all think. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you have an awesome weekend. And unless something else breaking drops, I'll see you all next week on Wednesday for Lyle's Movie Files and Thursday for another live edition of Lyle's Figure Files. For now, this episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.